What does it take to become a football champion? Talent, skill, or motivation? Let's delve into this. We often hear about the innate talent of star players or the skills they've honed over countless hours on the field. But what about motivation? Is it not the fuel that drives the engine of success? Imagine two players. Both are equally talented, equally skilled. One has motivation, the other doesn't. Who do you think will rise above the rest? Indeed, the one with the fire burning within? Motivation is the catalyst that transforms a good player into a great one. It propels them to run that extra mile, to push past their limits, to strive for that winning goal, even when the odds are stacked against them. In the world of football, motivation can be the game changer, the difference maker between victory and defeat. In the end, it's not about how much talent you have, but how much you're willing to push yourself to reach your full potential. Consider the story of John Doe, a young man who dreamed of becoming a football star. Born and raised in a modest neighborhood, John's love for football transcended the lack of resources that threatened to stifle his passion. With a worn-out ball, a makeshift field, and an iron will, he started his journey towards his dream. John's early years were filled with challenges that would have deterred a less determined individual. His family's meager income couldn't support his aspirations. Equipment, training, and even proper nutrition were luxuries they couldn't afford. But John's passion was undying. He spent hours practicing, often under the dim streetlights after a long day's work helping his parents. Then came the injuries, a sprained ankle here, a broken arm there, each one a hurdle on his path, threatening to end his dream prematurely. But John met each challenge with resilience and determination. He took each injury as a lesson, a stepping stone to becoming stronger and better. Personal issues too sought to derail his journey. The loss of a loved one, the pressure of providing for his family, the constant battle with self-doubt, they all took a toll on John. But instead of succumbing to these challenges, he used them as fuel to spur his determination. He channeled his pain into motivation, his hardships into resolve. John's story isn't one of overnight success or easy victories. It's a story of relentless pursuit, of a dream held close to the heart. It's a story of sleepless nights spent in practice, of days filled with sweat, blood and tears. It's a story of a young man who, despite every obstacle thrown his way, never gave up on his dream. His determination was unwavering, his motivation unyielding. Even when the world told him he couldn't, John told himself he could. And he did. Today, John Doe isn't just a football player. He's a symbol of perseverance, a beacon of hope for every young dreamer out there. John Doe's story is a testament to the power of motivation. Despite the odds, he never stopped pushing himself to achieve his dream. This is the story of a champion, the story of John Doe. But what was it that fueled John's motivation? What was his turning point? Let's delve into that chapter of John's journey that changed everything for him. John was no stranger to setbacks. In fact, he had experienced his fair share of losses, missed goals, and physical injuries. But there was this one game, a match that was more than just a game to John. It was a championship game. A grand stage where he was expected to shine, but instead, he faltered. John's team was losing and he had the opportunity to turn the tide. The ball was at his feet, the goal was in sight, but he missed. His team lost the championship and John was devastated. But it was this crushing loss that became his turning point. Amid the echoing boos and the weight of disappointment, John found a glimmer of motivation. He decided to turn this setback into a setup for a comeback. He realized that he didn't want to be remembered as the one who missed, but as the one who never gave up. Then came the speech from his coach, a speech that John would remember for the rest of his life. His coach told him, "John, in this game and in life, you'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Don't let one missed shot define you. Let it drive you." This speech was like fuel to the burning desire within John. It gave him the courage to confront his shortcomings, to embrace his failures, and to strive for improvement. He started training harder, pushing himself to the limits and practicing relentlessly. His motivation was no longer just about winning, but about proving to himself that he could overcome his obstacles. John's turning point was not a particular victory or an accolade. It was a loss, a missed shot, and a motivational speech from his coach. It was this profound realization that setbacks are not the end, but a chance to begin again, only this time more wisely. John's turning point was a reminder that motivation comes from within, and that we all have the power to change our circumstances. So what can we learn from John Doe's story? John's journey is a testament to the power of motivation in football and in life. His story is not just about scoring goals or winning games, it's about the strength of human spirit, the determination to rise above adversity, and the will to keep going no matter how tough the odds. Motivation is the fuel that keeps the engine of success running. In football, it's the force that pushes players to train harder, play smarter, and give every game their all. It's the spark that ignites the fire within, propelling players to strive for excellence, to overcome obstacles, and to continuously improve their skills. John's story is a perfect illustration of this. Despite the numerous challenges he faced, his motivation never wavered. He was always driven by his love for the game, his desire to be the best, and his commitment to his team. This unwavering motivation was what enabled him to overcome his obstacles, improve his skills, and ultimately achieve his dreams. But motivation is more than just a personal drive. It's also about inspiring others. In football, a motivated player can uplift the entire team, driving them to perform better, to fight harder, and to never give up. This is the kind of player that John was. His passion and determination were infectious, inspiring his teammates to reach for their own dreams. So as we reflect on John's story, let's remember the important role that motivation plays in football. Whether you're a player, a coach, or a fan, it's the motivation that keeps us going, that pushes us to strive for greatness, and that inspires us to never give up on our dreams. And as we move forward, let's keep John's story in mind. Let's remember that it's not about how much talent we have, but how much we're willing to push ourselves. It's the desire to improve, the will to overcome, and the courage to chase our dreams that truly define us. Remember, it's not about how much talent you have, but how much you're willing to push yourself. It's your motivation that will make you a champion.